How bullish are you about India right now, and what are your key expectations from the budget that is coming out?
I do not have investments in India. I am always looking for investments in India. This budget does not excite me. You continue to build up your deficits, you can build up your debt. India can be and will be a great country again, but somebody needs to be responsible for the money.
All right, I seem to have lost you just there. Yeah. Before I come back to you, Mr. Roger, I know Mukesh Bhutani has to leave us. Mukesh, just quickly before you go, how would you simplify capital gains? It's the one tax we haven't spoken about right now.
I think we should take away the distinction between the class of assets. So capital gains long-term or short-term should be agnostic to the class of assets. The second simplification we can look at it is, no matter who the investor is, individual, corporate, special purpose vehicles, CIVs, it should be consistently applied, because it doesn't really matter whether long-term or short-term capital gains accrue to A class or B class of taxpayers.
All right, so let's see if that is going to actually happening. Jim Rogers, let me just return to you. You said you are eyeing opportunities in India. Which are the sort of sectors, which are the sort of areas are you sort of putting onto your short list? And what would you like to see done there so that you can actually come and make that investment?
Well, it partially depends on what happens in the market. The market's down only 10% from its high. So if something goes down a lot, it will interest me probably. But I'm also watching the budget to see where they're going to emphasize. You know what they will help and emphasize, and that's where I will look too. If the market goes down and gets cheap again. The Indian market is not cheap right now. It's been a great, great success, as you know.
Right. India has always had a premium to other emerging markets. That's not unusual. It's interesting that this year, so far, at least when it comes to Indian market cap, year to date, India is underperforming because of what's been happening with the Adani group stocks. But is that premium for India justified if India is the fastest growing economy? India is going to be growing much faster than the rest of the world. It's going to be growing faster than China. So is the premium justified then?
The premium is not justified to me, but I mean, I cannot speak for the world, but no, it's not enough. It's not cheap enough. It's down a little bit, but it's not cheap enough. India is a fantastic country with opportunities, but I don't see the opportunities right now. I will watch the budget more scrutiny, watch it later when I can, and see if there are opportunities, but I don't see anything right now.
India has always been seen, Mr. Rogers, as a services economy. That's where the Indian IT, and that's been the major sort of a story. But I think India's been working very hard, and the government's been trying very hard, and we might hear a lot about that in the budget also, to say, why are you assuming that India can be a manufacturing country? India can be that China +1 that we've been hearing so much about. Is that, you think, a viable dream for India to have? Is that something which could happen this year or the next year?
Well, I doubt it this year. India is still a very difficult country for foreigners to invest in. If you open up, if India becomes open, completely open to foreign investors, I'm sure it will be very exciting very quickly. But at the moment, I don't know if you've ever tried to invest in India as a foreigner. It's not fun.
Right. Your sense of the way the global economy is going, obviously American tech has corrected. We're not quite sure what's happening in the rest of the global market. Do you think there are other really attractive parts of the global economy which therefore capital will move to instead of India?
Well, I'm sure that there are other parts. I don't really find any right now. Agriculture is depressed, so I'm interested in agriculture anywhere in the world. But no, I don't see any great, exciting, cheap stock markets anywhere in the world right now. I mean, Russia's cheap, but I cannot invest in Russia, and most people cannot. But Uzbekistan I've invested in, but as far as large markets, it's hard to find anything for me. It's hard for me to find anything attractive here in February 2023.